Not because $20,000 is a magical number, but because what it represents begins to shift how the world treats you and how you treat yourself. Before this point, money feels fragile. Every expense feels heavy. Every decision is driven by fear of running out. But once you cross this line, something subtle yet powerful happens. Pressure turns into possibility. Before $20,000, most people live in survival mode. You think short term. You ask, how do I pay this bill? Instead of, how do I build something bigger? Your energy goes into avoiding mistakes rather than creating opportunities. Even your confidence is borrowed, dependent on luck, timing, or other people. You hesitate, you delay, you doubt yourself. Not because you're weak, but because insecurity is expensive. After $20,000, breathing room appears, not luxury, clarity. You're no longer reacting to every small problem. A flat tire is an inconvenience, not a crisis. A slow month doesn't destroy your sleep. This mental shift is the real upgrade. Money doesn't just buy things, it buys calm. And calm is dangerous in a good way. Calm lets you think clearly, plan patiently, and move strategically. This is also when your relationship with risk changes. Before, risk feels like danger. One wrong move could send you back to zero. After $20,000, risk starts to feel like leverage. You can invest in learning, tools, or time without panicking. You can say no to bad opportunities and wait for better ones. You stop chasing everything and start choosing wisely. People treat you differently too, even if they don't know your exact bank balance. Confidence shows. Your posture changes, your voice steadies. You're not desperate for approval because you're not desperate for survival. That energy is noticeable. Opportunities come more easily, not because money attracts money, but because clarity attracts trust. Another change is patience. When you have nothing, you want results immediately. When you have something, you can afford to wait. And patience is one of the most underrated advantages in life. It allows compounding not just financially, but mentally and professionally. Skills stack, relationships deepen, decisions improve. However, this is also a dangerous phase. Many people reach $20,000 and think they've made it. They relax too early. They increase lifestyle faster than their discipline. They forget that this number is not a destination, it's a foundation. The people who truly win use this stage to build systems, not comfort. They protect their habits more than their money. What really changes after $20,000 is identity. You stop seeing yourself as someone who hopes to succeed and start seeing yourself as someone who is capable of building success. That belief compounds faster than interest ever could. You trust your ability to recover from mistakes. You stop fearing failure because you've proven you can survive. In the end, $20,000 doesn't change your life by itself. It changes your position, and position determines options. Options create power. Power gives freedom. Not freedom to waste, but freedom to choose. And once you understand that, you realize the real goal was never the number. It was the mindset that comes after it. Not overnight, not magically, but mentally. Before this point, money controls your emotions. Every small expense feels loud. Every delay feels dangerous. You don't plan far ahead because survival doesn't allow vision. Your mind is busy putting out fires instead of building something meaningful. Before $20,000, decisions are rushed. You say yes too quickly. You tolerate things you shouldn't. Bad deals, bad jobs, bad habits, because fear is driving. You're not thinking about growth, you're thinking about relief. And relief is temporary. After $20,000, the noise lowers, not silence, but space. Space to think, space to breathe, space to pause before reacting. Problems don't disappear, but they shrink. A setback no longer feels like the end. It feels like part of the process. That alone changes how you move through life. Your confidence shifts too, not loud confidence, quiet confidence. You stop proving yourself to everyone. You stop chasing validation. You don't rush conversations or over-explain your value. You trust yourself more because you've seen evidence that you can build, save, and recover. Risk feels different now. Earlier, risk meant loss. Now, risk means opportunity. You can invest in skills, time, or tools without panic. You don't jump at every shiny chance, you wait. And waiting is powerful. Most people lose because they can't wait. Your relationship with time changes. When you're broke, time feels like an enemy. Deadlines scare you. Slow progress frustrates you. After $20,000, time becomes an ally. You understand that consistency beats intensity. You let things compound, knowledge, habits, discipline. People notice the shift, even if they don't know why. Your tone changes, your posture changes, you're not desperate, and desperation is visible. Calm attracts respect. Clarity attracts opportunity, not because money talks, but because confidence does. But here's the truth most people miss. This stage is dangerous. Comfort tries to seduce you. Lifestyle inflation whispers, you've earned it. Discipline gets tested here. Winners don't upgrade comfort first, they upgrade systems. Losers celebrate too early. The biggest change after $20,000 isn't financial, it's identity. You stop seeing yourself as someone hoping to win and start seeing yourself as someone capable of building wins repeatedly. That belief is rare and powerful. You trust yourself to fail and recover. You stop fearing mistakes because you've proven you're not fragile. You're no longer just reacting to life. You're shaping it. $20,000 doesn't make you rich. It makes you dangerous if you stay focused. Because once your mindset shifts, the numbers eventually follow. Not because money makes you smarter, but because it removes the noise that keeps you distracted. When money is tight, your thoughts are loud. Fear speaks first. Every decision feels urgent. You don't think in terms of growth. You think in terms of survival. When you don't have enough, your mind shrinks. You focus on today, not tomorrow. You avoid long-term plans because uncertainty feels dangerous. Even good opportunities look risky when your foundation is weak. It's not laziness, it's pressure. As money increases, mental space opens. You begin to think clearly. You stop reacting and start responding. Instead of asking, what do I need right now? You ask, what actually matter? That single shift changes how you move, work, and choose. Money also changes how you view time. When you're broke, time feels like it's running out. You rush. You force results. You burn energy trying to speed things up. With money, patience becomes possible. You understand that real progress is slow, and that slow doesn't mean failing. Confidence evolves with money. Not arrogance, assurance. You speak less, but with more certainty. You don't beg for attention or approval. You don't explain your worth. You know it. And that calm certainty influences how people respond to you. Risk transforms too. Without money, risk feels like danger. One mistake can destroy everything. With money, risk becomes strategic. You calculate, you prepare, you invest in learning and systems instead of gambling on luck. You stop chasing quick wins and start building real value. Money also exposes discipline. Some people get more and lose control. Others get more and tighten focus. The mindset shift isn't automatic, it's revealed. Money doesn't change who you are, it shows who you already were. Your standards rise. You tolerate less nonsense, bad habits, bad environments, bad conversations. You protect your energy, you say no more often. And saying no is a sign of strength, not arrogance. The most powerful change is internal. You stop seeing yourself as someone trying to survive and start seeing yourself as someone who can create. That belief compounds. You trust your decisions. You recover faster from setbacks. You stop fearing failure because you know you're capable of rebuilding. But money alone isn't the goal. The mindset is. Money is just the tool that reveals it. Without discipline, money disappears. Without clarity, money distracts. But with the right mindset, money becomes leverage. In the end, money doesn't give you power. It gives you options. And options change everything. Survival mode is loud. Your mind is always racing. Every problem feels urgent. You're not choosing your moves, you're reacting to pressure. When you're surviving, there is no long-term thinking. There is only now. In survival mode, fear leads. You take whatever comes your way because saying no feels dangerous. You chase quick relief instead of real progress. You work hard, but without direction. Effort is there, but strategy is missing. Survival teaches you how to endure, not how to win. You become good at handling stress, not building systems. You solve the same problems again and again because there's no time to step back and redesign your approach. You're busy running, not navigating. The shift begins when pressure reduces, not when problems disappear, but when they stop controlling you. That's when you pause, and that pause changes everything. You start asking better questions, not how do I get through this, but how do I move forward? Strategy requires space, space to think, space to observe, space to learn from mistakes instead of repeating them. Once you leave survival, you stop fighting fires and start building fireproof systems. Your decisions slow down, and that's a good thing. You stop rushing into opportunities that look good but lead nowhere. You analyze, you calculate, you align actions with long-term outcomes. Every move has a reason. Confidence grows differently here. Not loud confidence, but grounded confidence. You trust your plan even when results are delayed. You understand that consistency beats intensity. Strategy isn't about doing more. It's about doing what matters. Your relationship with failure changes. In survival, failure feels fatal. In strategy, failure feels informative. You study it. You adjust. You improve. You don't quit. You refine. People notice the shift. You speak with clarity. You move with intention. You're no longer busy proving yourself. You're focused on positioning yourself. That focus creates momentum. But strategy demands discipline. Survival is chaotic, but strategy is intentional. You must protect your time, your energy, and your standards. You can't afford emotional decisions anymore. Every choice has a cost. The real power of strategy is leverage. You stop trading time for survival and start building systems that work for you. Progress compounds, stress reduces, direction becomes clear. The goal was never comfort, it was control. When you move from survival to strategy, you stop reacting to life and start designing it. Pressure is not the enemy, it's the test you've been waiting for. When life pushes, most people break. They panic, they freeze, they react to fear instead of creating opportunity. Pressure exposes weakness, but it also exposes potential. Before pressure turns into power, it feels heavy. Every decision feels too big. Every expectation feels impossible. You can't see past the immediate challenge. Stress dominates your mind and doubt creeps in. You question yourself, you question others, you question the path. This is normal, it's part of the process. The shift happens when you stop resisting pressure. Instead of running from it, you lean in, you treat it as information, not punishment. You stop asking why me and start asking how do I win. That mindset alone changes outcomes. Pressure stops being a weight and starts being a tool. Power comes from clarity under stress. When the situation is intense, most people lose focus. But when you stay calm, your mind becomes sharper. You see solutions faster. You spot opportunities that others miss. You don't react, you respond. That's how pressure transforms into leverage. Your confidence grows because you survived the tests that would have broken you before. Every challenge becomes evidence that you can handle more. Small pressures no longer intimidate. Bigger pressures no longer paralyze. You're not fearless, you're capable. And capability is magnetic. People notice it. Doors open. Opportunities arrive. Pressure also changes your decisions. In crisis, shortcuts tempt you. You're tempted to compromise, cheat, or give up. But power lies in discipline. You learn to act with integrity even when it's harder. You learn that the right choice under pressure has outsized rewards. Time itself becomes an ally. Pressure accelerates growth if you allow it. Every stress point is a lesson. Every obstacle is data. You analyze, adjust, and move faster than before. The pressure that could destroy most becomes the fuel that propels you. Relationships shift too. People respect those who perform under pressure. They trust those who don't panic. Power under pressure is invisible, but felt everywhere. It commands attention without words. Yet this transformation is dangerous if ignored. Many people collapse under stress or grow bitter. True power requires conscious effort. You must embrace challenges, protect your mindset, and stay disciplined. Pressure doesn't forgive laziness, it amplifies it. In the end, pressure is not a curse, it's a gateway. When you learn to master it, you turn life's hardest moments into the source of your strength. Stress becomes strategy, challenges become opportunities, fear becomes fuel. And once you realize that, you're unstoppable. Pressure is no longer your enemy, it is your power.